Welcome to the Information Systems for Business podcast. I'm your host, Craig Van Slyke. The main purpose of the podcast is to augment the book Information Systems for Business: An Experiential Approach by Franz Belanger, Craig Van Slyke, and Rob Crossler. The book is published by Prospect Press. Before we get started, I want to give a few disclaimers. The podcast purposely omits many details in order to get to the high points of each chapter. So listening to the podcast is not a substitute for reading the book. Each episode contains my view of the most important points of each chapter. Your professor may have a different view. The podcast is solely my responsibility, so any errors are on me, not my co-authors, your professors, Prospect Press, or my employer. Enough of the disclaimers, let's get to the good stuff. In this episode, we hit the high points of Appendix B, computer software. The focusing story for Appendix B discusses application software, commonly called apps these days, pointing out that the apps are what make our devices useful. This has been true since the earliest days of computing, it's true today, and it's going to be true in the future. The purpose of Appendix B is to help you understand some important concepts related to computer software. Although software is discussed throughout the book, it's helpful to understand some key general concepts related to software. This appendix also discusses some types of software that are not covered elsewhere in the book. Appendix B begins by defining software as an organized set of instructions that govern the operation of a computer. Then it describes two kinds of software, system software and application software. System software controls the operation of a device's hardware, and application software lets you perform useful tasks. Next, the appendix covers system software, followed by application software, giving some examples of each. The appendix concludes with a brief mention of app stores. Here are the main points made in Appendix B. Software is an organized set of data and instructions that govern the operation of a computer. Yeah, I know I already said that, but it's an important definition. Procedures for using specific software are considered part of that software. There are two major categories of software, system software and application software. System software controls the operation of the computer's hardware. System software is necessary, but we use application software in order to make a computer useful for performing specific tasks. Application software requires system software in order to operate. Think of system software as the platform on which application software runs. Conceptually, system software serves as an intermediary between application software and the computer's hardware. Broadly speaking, there are two categories of system software: operating systems and utilities. All computers require an operating system, even smartphones and game consoles. Operating systems are programs that are responsible for managing a computer's hardware and for providing a platform for the operation of application software. An operating system's kernel is a critical component. The kernel manages communication between hardware resources and applications. Examples of operating systems include Windows 10, Mac OS, and Linux for personal computers, and Android and iOS for smartphones. Of course, there are many other examples of operating systems. Utility software consists of programs that perform tasks related to the management of a computer. Examples include anti-malware systems, file compression, data backup, and file synchronization, among many others. Sometimes it's difficult to distinguish between operating system functions and utility software because over time, many utility functions become built into operating systems. Application software can be classified using several dimensions: business or personal use software, general productivity or special purpose software, horizontal or vertical market software. Vertical market software is software that's intended for use by a specific industry, while horizontal market software is used across a wide range of industries. Locally installed or cloud-based software is the last dimension. We can categorize application software according to these dimensions. For example, your school's learning management system, we use Moodle at my school, is business use, special purpose, vertical market, and typically cloud-based. App stores exist for the purpose of making it easier to find, download, and install application software. Examples of app stores include Apple's App Store, Google Play, and the Windows App Store. However, application software is often installed without the use of app stores. Well, that's all for Appendix A. Of course, as you might have imagined, there's more detail in the appendix, so be sure to check it out. Okay, that's it for this episode. Remember that you still need to read the chapter since the book has much more detail. Have I mentioned that yet? Fortunately, we, the co-authors, worked really hard to keep the chapters short and to the point so the reading shouldn't be too bad. Talk to you next time.